The stream has started, Lewis. All that stuff that you were about to say, please just.
Oh my.
You're going to get us kicked off of YouTube forever. You're worse than LK.
How bad would it be, really?
Take that vacation we've been talking about.
Permanent vacation.
All right. I think we're live. Oh, yeah. Look at those bits. And we're live. You want the tweet, Lewis?
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We have a real exciting show.
Look on my face.
Yeah, it wasn't actually that obvious. I couldn't tell if you wanted the tweet or if you had gastrointestinal distress. It was going to be one of those two.
Could be a combo.
All right, let's take this tweet, cram it in your cram hole. I don't want to hear nothing else about it.
Jeez.
Everyone joining, I never know if we should lop this part off the show where we just talk about nonsense for 15 minutes, Lewis. But we got Level Remix, who's got a very, very chipper. Oh, all caps. Hola, Govs. Oh, wait, hola, Govs. I think that's the appropriate accent for that. We're waiting for people to pile on in. We got a lot of gear to talk about this week, guys. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about. I don't even know if we're going to finish. At some point in the show, I may just press the end button, probably when Lewis is in mid-sentence. I'll just click the end button. That will be the end of it. We won't even finish the show. Is Leander still in Seattle? Chase McLean! Don't even tell me Leander was in Seattle. And is that why the smog is so bad? That I can't confirm or deny, but it has been awful smoky around here. Has he been in Seattle, Lewis? He wasn't in Seattle, was he? Okay.
Oh.
You got me. You got me, Chase McLean. Roz Hall, best bit. We got Wesley Davenport driving and streaming. That sounds safe.
See the tweet.
Mark T. Oh, I did. I sent it. It's
did
live.
You hit the enter button?
Yeah, I sure did. I see it
Whatever
live.
it's called.
I see it live on my screen, Lewis.
Elijah
Mark T says he misses
hasn't
LK. So do I. R.I.P. LK. He had a good run, didn't he? All right, everyone. I think we should just go ahead and get rolling. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You still waiting for the tweet, Lewis?
Yeah.
It's literally right in front of me. Go to my Twitter. It's gonna be right there.
That's what I'm doing.
And it's not there?
Okay, finally I see it.
All right. I blame Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk for that.
You've been shadow banned.
Yeah, for all my hot takes. I'm a Twitter lurker these days.
Super hot.
I barely even tweet anymore. I'm like that guy who's like in the shadows, like in the bush, just looking at you, and you look over and you're like, did I just see someone? And he's like, and he's gone. That's me on Twitter. All right, you miss Alex. Look, I don't want
get him back.
I don't want to admit this, but I kind of miss Alex too. He had the tiniest, cutest little hands. And did you see the way he made eyes at Keanu Reeves when he got to do that interview? Let me see if I can recreate it. How's that? Lewis, you missed it, Lewis.
Sorry, I'm trying to type, and of course I can't do it.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna queue up Mrs. You Know Who.
Oh wow, they already pulled the. Looks like they already pulled the plug on the take note hash flag.
On the what?
Take note,
that's
right?
Because because no one even knew what it was.
Yeah, they must have.
Apple
how
really
much they
screwed
paid
that
for that? 2 days of hash flagging.
Well, they didn't announce any event. There was no event. I don't even know how that hashtag went live. Like, take note. Like, where did that even come from? Apple was clearly trying to make that happen, but I don't even know where it came from. Because there was no event. It's usually the hashtags are affiliated with some kind of event.
Yeah, well, you saw the thing that Cook tweeted, right?
Oh, is that where it came from?
It was clearly like a thing that was set up to go for an event. They just didn't want to throw it all away, and I bet you they had already paid for the hash flag, and they said, "Well,
the hashtag
hash flag."
It's a tag, not a flag.
No, they call it a hash flag.
Who calls it that?
When it animates and does something special. Did you see that?
Is that a real thing? I don't know.
Sorry, dude. I thought you were technologically literate.
I've literally never heard that term before.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. A hash flag?
Yeah, that's what when Apple buys a hashtag and they get a special animation. Like I can't remember what it was last time, but this week it was take note, and it did some.
And you're telling me that
Apple thing.
Our beloved TC has to pay for those?
Are you kidding me?
I did not know that.
You think Twitter just says, "Oh yeah, we'll add this"?
Yeah, they're all in cahoots. Are you kidding me?
No.
Here's the take note. I found it right here. Okay, so what's supposed to? You mean like when you click, it's supposed to animate and get all crazy? Is that
No,
what you mean?
when you put the hashtag in.
Oh, and it has like that little favicon in there.
Yeah, that's animated.
Okay.
That's called a hash flag.
Where did you learn that?
On the internet, where do you learn anything?
I'm offended that you've never told me that before.
I can't believe. This is like somebody telling me, like, "Oh, I didn't realize those things that come out of chickens that people eat for breakfast are called eggs."
No, I don't even know that term is real. I still am not sure I even believe you.
What?
Yeah. I'm going to look this up afterwards. And if you're right, I'll never say anything about it again. But if you're not right, I will bring it up on the show and mock you for it endlessly.
See, I don't think. You see, now you do if you click the take note hashtag, there's a little.
Oh, we get the.
You see that little note there?
Yeah.
But see, that 2 days ago, that was an Apple logo or something.
Oh.
Now it's the Utah Jazz.
What?
This was a minor controversy because that was like I think a Utah Jazz. They were trying to make that a slogan, like since for the last 5 years or something. Take note, and and now it's reverted to being a note.
Huh.
I do not.
You know what I just realized though, Lewis?
No.
Nobody watching right now cares about this conversation.
Well,
So
that's hard to believe.
We're dropping viewers precipitously. All right, let's cue up Mrs. You Know Who.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
Twitter hash flags or custom Twitter emojis, as they are commonly referred to, will cost you a pretty penny, upward of $1 million, depending on the brand campaign.
God,
So there you go.
Imagine that. So TC paid a cool $1
I rest my case.
or more.
And then they didn't have the event.
Wow. There's a whole story there that I wish we knew more about, but clearly we don't. So I'm going to go ahead and cue up Mrs. You Know Who. Oh, Mrs. D. Oh, Mrs. D, you're very chipper. Oh, yes. There's something that I want you to take note of. Oh, what's that?
Oh,
Me and
no.
El Katie made love last night.
Oh,
Gross. I hate how she gets me with the thing that we're talking about. She just turns it into something about her and El Caney every single time. And it always gets me. I think we're going to hear something new and interesting, but it's just about her and El Caney. And
same old
every week. And I fall
greasy,
for it.
sleazy nightmare.
Okay. Let me go ahead.
There's going to be a lot of coughing today. That's great.
Yeah,
Great news.
That's definitely true. Sorry, Lewis and I have mega colds. We're fighting mega colds. Oh, can you guys even hear my audio? It probably wasn't loud enough. Is that better? Oh yeah,
jeez.
that's probably a lot better. All right, everyone, here we go in 3. Hello and welcome to Colecast, the best 30+ minute Apple conversation you're gonna hear all week long. I'm your host, Aaron Elijah. Join me today. Where is it? There. Oh, there it is. He set up a complicated water drip system and automatic feeding system to ensure the Cultimac water bowl and writer's trough gets filled while he's on his upcoming vacation. He's also loaded the auto turrets and released the hounds in case anyone gets any wise ideas, tries to escape. He's the managing editor of Cultimac. Lewis Wallace is here.
Oh, it's great to be back. Great to be back.
Yeah? That's good. You're so chipper.
Oh, yeah.
So Lewis and I are both fighting off the cold of all colds, and somehow we both got it. So we're going to do our best not to sit here and cough on stream, but man, both of us, we got something, and it's moved into both of our chests. It sounds like we actually have the same thing.
I think half the country is sick with it right now.
Oh, really? Do you know a lot of people who are sick?
Yeah.
Okay. I know a few. I don't know how many people have the same thing I have, but it's Norbert says it's the Rona. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it is, and Lewis tests every 2 to 3 hours just on a regular basis. No one tests more than you, Liz. I
jabbed that thing so far up my nose I started gagging.
One time he stuck it up a little too far and he accidentally pooped his pants. Oh, I almost got him. He just wants to be extra sure that he doesn't have the Rona, so he almost lost it up there once. Aren't there a couple that just got lost forever up there, Lewis? You couldn't even get them back?
My nose ain't that big.
Well, I mean, your brain cavity gets connected.
Oh, yeah.
To it.
The empty skull. Okay, yeah, maybe.
There's lots of space in there for all sorts of stuff. You could probably keep your keys in there.
An air tag.
You know what? I think I'm finally committed to buying some AirTags. I think I'm gonna buy some.
Don't put it off, man.
I've never purchased them, and ever since that thing happened to me with my AirPods Max, I was like, I think I'm gonna try these and see how they work in my everyday life. Like really put them to use.
I used one just this weekend.
Yeah.
Did a big tour. We went and played in Tulsa, but I had 2 suitcases and a base that I checked, and so you get off the plane, you turn on your phone, you're like, where's my stuff? Is it in Denver?
That is nice.
Or is it in Tulsa?
That is nice.
Oh,
yeah.
good. It's in Tulsa. That's where I am. Excellent.
Of course, if it's not in Tulsa, then you get to spend the next hour frustrated that your bag's not going to be there on time because before anyone else.
Yeah, well, the way that I justify it is like it's peace of mind, right? That it is there, and I can quit worrying right now. And B, if for instance it says, oh, it's in Missouri, I could get a hold of the airline and say, hey, my bag's in Missouri and I'm in Tulsa, because I bet you. Well, I don't know how they track things, but I bet you they don't have that granular of thing. Like,
oh, there's no way.
So
all they know is the last place that your bag was scanned. That's it.
So yeah. So anyway, that's I definitely use it. I thought I had a really great idea. Like, oh, I'll throw my car keys in my bag, and that way I can check my bag. I don't have to have an AirTag on my bag. I just use my car keys. And then we landed, and I'm like, where are my car keys?
Why would car keys? Why would you be able to track your car keys?
Huh?
Is it because you have an AirTag attached to them?
Right. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I have my car an AirTag on my car keys.
That was the
and
missing
like
piece of the
rather
story.
than buying a second AirTag, I'll just double dip, right?
How many do you have?
The problem, I got a handful. But the problem is, for instance, if you were to land and your bag wasn't there, guess what else wouldn't be there?
Yeah.
Which would not be that would be not a fun thing to have
taking
happen.
the bus
So
home, yeah.
I had to reevaluate my whole approach. But yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Well,
I love the way they work.
I'm gonna pick some of those up. There's a bunch of
able to
stuff I want to
find
buy. Over the Black Friday season. It's coming up.
Get ready. Get the 4-packs, man. The 4-packs dropped down to like $85 or less.
Oh yeah, that's a great deal. So I just got myself a GoPro 11, which I'll probably be talking about here on the show. I've never owned a GoPro before, so I'll be talking about that. There's a few things I'm thinking about picking up. It's like at the end of the year, it's like I'm either gonna have to spend some money or pay taxes. I'm like, which would I rather do? So I'm trying to figure out what my. All right, let's see here. Before we dive in, let me go ahead and give a very hearty thank you to Squarespace for supporting. Whoa, what's this app? Oh, whoops. A very hearty thank you to Squarespace for supporting this episode. My apologies. I pressed the wrong button. Oh, my. Squarespace.com/cultcast. You've heard me say this probably at least 200 times. And you still haven't set up your website. I don't know what's stopping you at this point. Is it because you don't think you have a need for a website? Is it because you're just a slacker? And
because you can't handle the truth?
You can't. Yeah, that might be it. You're just not a fan of handling the truth. But if you're ready to get yourself online, get your life in order, get your business set up, this is what you need to do. Head to squarespace.com/cultcast. And you can have a website up and running in moments. It's so easy to set up. You'll actually do it. And you can manage the whole thing yourself. You don't need to bring in anyone. But if you want to, you can. You can bring in contributors and have people help you run your website. And you can build any kind of website you can think of. Blogs. You can build up a website that will show people your portfolio. You can build a business website that just shows like your business and pictures of like the interior of your business and all that kind of stuff. You can start a membership website so people can join your part of your website that you have roped off with the velvet rope and have a private community of people. You can have people book your time on a calendar and then pay you for your expertise in different areas. I mean, anything that you could think of, you can do it with Squarespace. It's all built in. It's all easy to use. And you can also sell products and services of all kinds. That's what I use to sell Cult Cloth, and it just works so well. It's just so easy. I mean, the whole thing is just, set it and forget it. Don't sue me, Ron Popeil. Do you get that reference, Lewis? Ron Popeil? The set it and forget it guy?
What did he sold all kinds of great stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he sold a couple great products. He sold that chicken rotisserie thing that you put your chicken in and then it churned it, right? And then the other thing that he sold that you might be interested in is spray on hair. This is literally a product that he had. It was like a can, like a spray paint can, and he would go and spray the bald spot in the back of his head so it was the same color as his hair. So the bald spot was still there. It was like bald spot camouflage. You know? So that'd be pretty cool.
The pocket fisherman. The Ronco pocket fisherman.
Okay, his company was called Ronco. Yeah, clearly you are familiar with him. I don't know what the pocket fisherman is, but
I remember. Do you remember that?
No,
it's a
Ronco
little,
pocket fisherman.
Fishing pole that's like this big.
And is it for just impromptu fishing?
Oh, it's just it's just a better fishing pole.
Oh man, they still sell it for $29.99 or only 15 easy payments of $199.
The Veg-O-Matic.
So
yeah,
trash.
Ron Popeil.
Anyway, if you have hold on a second,
we
got to finish Squarespace. So if you've got a great product that you want to sell, like the pocket fisherman or the spray-on hair replacement, head on to squarespace.com/cultcast and sign up for the trial. Build a website, see how you like it, and if at the end of your trial, if you like what you see, you want to keep it going, use code cultcast at checkout. You'll get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. If you do a year of service, which is what I do, you get an extra discount as well. So it's a really good deal. Squarespace.com/cultcast, and the offer code to use is cultcast. All right, Lewis, let's dive in. We've wasted enough time. We've been live for 15 minutes, and we have literally talked about no stories yet. So
at least we've mentioned Apple.
That is true. There are many episodes where that hasn't even happened yet. So I'm going to pass it to you. I'm passing you the torch to talk about whatever you want, and I hope it's this first story.
How about if I pass it right back to you since your name's right on there?
Oh man,
dude, can you read anymore? What's going on?
But I choose not to. I just let you do all the thinking. I just let you tell me.
We're doomed.
All right, let me do the first story here. We're going to talk about iPads.
I mean, unless you want to talk about the other iPad first, it's up to you.
Let's do iPad Pro. I feel like that's the one that's going to keep people here the longest. Let's talk about the all-new iPad Pro. Should you buy it? I think the answer is clear. No. But
ow.
Hey, here's the play, Lewis. Here's the play. I'm not trashing the new M2 iPad Pro, but I think the play is to get the refurbished M1 iPad Pro because they just dropped the price on it. So I think that's a much better way to go because it's virtually the same machine. I mean, so they added the M2, which Apple says brings a 15% speed boost to the tablet. And there's some other stuff too. So let me back up. The prices on the M2 iPad Pro are the same as the previous version of the M1 iPad Pro, right? So $799 for the 11-inch, $1099 for the 12.9-inch. By the way, I think my next iPad, Lewis, I think I'm going big. You know that I like to go big. I think I might do the 12.9-inch. I've never done it before, but I was thinking the 12.9-inch, 256 gigabyte M1 might be the way to go for me personally to get a new iPad. I don't need the most cutting edge iPad, and here's one of the reasons why I think the M2 is probably not the way to go. Because it's just kind of overkill. Like, what are you doing on your iPad that requires M2? The M1 is overkill. There's no software that really takes advantage of the power of the M1. So do you need the M2? I mean, no. Is it nice to have? Sure, I wouldn't mind having it. But you don't need it. There are some other nice to have stuff on here that you might care about with the new iPad Pro. But I don't think any of these are things that are worth the extra cost. So you get ProRes. You can capture ProRes video with the new iPad, but from my understanding, the camera module they put in the new iPad Pro is the generation of, or the iPhone 12 generation Pro camera. So you're not getting the newest and best camera. So why would you really want to capture ProRes on your iPad? You do get Wi-Fi 6E support. I think this might be the first device. I could be wrong, but this might be the first device that supports the newest standard of Wi-Fi, which is Wi-Fi 6E. And so that's pretty cool. You're going to get a lot faster transfer
if you happen to have that kind of network.
Which I do, Lewis.
Do you really? You got a 6E?
Yeah, I upgraded my... I'm in the process of upgrading my whole network right now. I have a new router that has a 2.5G Ethernet, and it does Wi-Fi 6E. So...
Well, there you go.
So there you go. But, you're right. Most people probably don't have that because like only the newest, most most best routers have 6E. So that may not be something that really benefits you. Now, you do get Apple Hover support, which is a new feature that if you use the Apple Pencil will show the cursor and the cursor size on the iPad screen as you are bringing the pencil close to the screen. This is a feature that like Wacom tablets have. I think like Samsung devices have had it forever. And it's actually kind of slick. Like I saw a demo of it, and you can control the size of the cursor by touching and pinching your fingers to make the cursor bigger or smaller. And it works when the pencil is up to 12 millimeters away from the screen. I don't know how far 12 millimeters is. What is it, like a half inch, maybe?
I don't actually know.
I have no clue. Yeah, maybe someone from Europe in the chat could let us know. And
almost a half an inch.
I can't believe I got that right. Wow, I just completely guessed. That's amazing.
Way to go.
The amount of the amount of instinct that I have, Lewis, about these things.
Uncanny.
Yeah, I even surprise myself with this stuff. So it's about a half inch. So that's kind of cool, right? Like if you're an artist, you'll be able to see your cursor on the screen as your pencil approaches the screen. You'll know exactly where your tip is going to touch, which, let's be honest, that's always handy. Got to know where you're putting your tip. And let's see here. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting, and now this isn't necessarily an iPad Pro exclusive feature, but this is exciting, and that is they're bringing DaVinci Resolve to iPad. I don't know what versions of the iPad this is going to work on, but DaVinci Resolve, for those of you who are unaware, is like one of the best video editing apps that is out there. In fact, honestly, I think it's only a matter of time before DaVinci Resolve is actually better and even faster than Final Cut Pro. I mean, Blackmagic, who owns DaVinci Resolve, they are constantly adding new features to Resolve. It's cross-platform. They put it on the Mac. They have it on PC. They were one of the first people to optimize for Apple Silicon, like DaVinci Resolve was. So it's going to be really interesting to see how powerful this video editing app is on the iPad. And this might be one of the first and only apps that actually take full advantage of the speed of the iPad Pro. It might turn the iPad Pro into a legitimate editing speed machine. We'll have to see how well it works. But if anyone can do it, it's Blackmagic and DaVinci Resolve. So that's exciting. I don't know if that will work on previous versions of the iPad Pro. I suspect that it will. But that is something that is incoming. So again, yeah.
Is there any way that editing video on an iPad would be anywhere near as easy as using a gigantic screen Mac setup?
I still don't think so, personally. I still think it's going to be easier to edit on a Mac. There's just way too much multi-window stuff that happens for me when I'm editing to make me want to do it on an iPad, even with Stage Manager. So I still think the play is going to be, for serious video editing, you're going to need to have a Mac. The other thing I forgot to mention is DaVinci Resolve is like the de facto standard for colorists. So people that color a movie, so like if you don't know how movie processes work, like they film the whole thing and then all the footage goes to a colorist, and they're the ones that make it look really beautiful. And
they're the ones that make everything look so grim you can't see anything at all.
Or that, yeah, exactly, or that. Like I remember seeing it was one of the Batman movies. It was the one with Bane. I forget which one it was, and I saw it in the theater, and I was like, dude, this movie is so dark. I can't even see what's going on. I can't even see what is happening because these scenes are too dark. So that's the iPad Pro. Is it worth getting the M2? I personally would probably go for the M1 that's refurbished, because they were giving 10% off on the M1, and now I think it's 20% off the prices.
I just saw today there was a sale, $200 off the M1 iPad
Let's see.
Pro.
Should we go to apple.com?
On Amazon.com.
Store.apple.com. Let's just take a little look-see. We scroll all the way down, and we go to refurbished and clearance, and then we go to iPad, and then I shouldn't even bring this up because this is, every time I do this, everyone buys out all the stuff that I want. Yeah, so we're looking at 4th generation. Yeah, so there you go. So you can buy the 12.9-inch iPad Pro with cellular, 512 gigabytes of storage, space gray. It used to be $1,400. It's now $1,000, $1,019. So let's do the math on that. I think it's 20%. So 119 divided by $13.99. Oh my! It's more than 20%. It's almost 30%.
For which storage model? Are you
For this is the 512
512.
gigabyte. Yeah. So there you
How
go.
much is it?
It's $1,019 for the 12.9 inch Wi-Fi cellular with
Oh, Wi-Fi
500.
cellular.
Yeah, and I saw that you can get the 256 gigabyte Wi-Fi version for like $729 or something when they have it in stock. So, so there you go. My humble opinion, that's the play right there. Get the refurbished. If you want a new iPad, I would definitely go with the M1 because you're not really losing anything critical unless you're an artist that really needs Apple Pencil Hover. And this thing will do pretty much everything, from a power perspective that the M2 will do. What do you think, Lewis? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the hover thing. I watched the video, and it's since I'm completely stylus illiterate, I can't really tell how useful that would be. It looked kind of weird. I mean, if I was into using the Apple Pencil and the iPad, I mean, I would be interested in checking out the latest thing. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's a pretty good deal on the old one. So
I'm trying to find a video of this hover feature. So Apple did release a new video on their YouTube channel if you want to check it out that talks about the iPad Pro and the iPad. And if you want to see all the new features, it is on their YouTube channel. I don't want to play that video because they'd probably copyright strike me in a heartbeat.
Great.
Yeah. They used to be really cool about that kind of thing, but now they're not. Now if you try to show their video clips, like they're pretty copyrighty now. Unfortunately, they didn't. Again, like they used to let you just like live stream their entire event. But they definitely don't do that anymore. Okay, so there's iPad Pro. Let me know, chat. Let me know what you think. Yeah, we got Roz Hall here. He's actually the guy to ask. He's like an absolutely amazing artist. He says, I live in Procreate, and I have no idea what I'd ever use Hover for. Okay, so that's interesting. So there you go. I mean, if it's not going to be useful for Roz, then maybe it's not as useful as I thought. But I thought you guys would be into tip placement, but
oh, jeez.
I guess it's just me.
Again with it.
What? Lewis, I don't know why that makes you uncomfortable. It's just about placing your tip and making sure that your tip is in the right orientation for engagement. But I'm still on Gen 2. Let's talk about, I think the more actually interesting story is the regular iPad. There's a whole lot going on here. There's an all new dongle. I know you're happy to hear about that.
God.
So I'm going to pass it to old Lewis Wallace, King of the Smurfs, to tell us about iPad.
That's just great.
Tell us about iPad, and there's a new keyboard and stuff. There's all sorts of stuff to talk about here. So take it away.
Yeah, this one,
Lewis.
Unlike the Pro, this one's like a complete revamp. Bigger screen, USB-C, faster processor. Home button is gone. To me, honestly, the most surprising thing about it was a 36% price increase.
Yep.
Shocking. When I was editing the story about it, I was like, "Wait, is this a typo?" The price jumped from $329 for the base model to $449.
That's a big jump. That's a big jump.
I mean, for the longest time, an iPad at $329, and then if you find it on sale for 10% off or something, that's been like absolutely, you can recommend that to anybody, right? Go get it because it's a great deal. Now it's $449. It's like that is a lot more money. Anyway, this is it's been a while since they've updated it, right? This is like the biggest change in a while, right? And now it looks more like the Pro. Larger display, went from 2.2-inch screen to a 10.9-inch. Same size screen now as the iPad Air, almost as large as the iPad Pro. It's got A14 Bionic chip from the A13. Supposedly 20% increase in CPU performance and 10% improvement in graphics. So probably nobody would ever notice, or not much anyway. The price, though, wow, the price. Let's see. It also comes in 4 colors, which I thought, you know what, we've been let's just say complaining.
Yeah.
About the colors in the Apple product.
You have been complaining a lot. I've noticed that. Me, on the other hand, I'm completely satisfied with silver, space gray, and gold. That's all I need. Every year, that's the only colors I care about.
Well, so some of these colors on these new iPads look pretty good. I mean, I thought the yellow looked good. It comes yellow, pink, blue, and gray. Yeah, gray. Or was it gray or was it silver?
I think they called it I think they called it
I
gray.
cannot now remember.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, Wi-Fi 6, ultra-wide side-mounted camera, which apparently some people are super excited about because now that means you can use it like a laptop.
More like a
right?
computer. Yeah, exactly. Which I think is how they're positioning this. It's like, and I was even thinking if you were just a college kid, this is pretty much all you would need, right? Especially if you get that really expensive Magic Keyboard Folio, which actually looks really cool. I think it's crazy to me that it's more than half the price of the actual iPad. It's like the price mix there for the keyboard and the iPad seems a little off to me, but the Magic Keyboard Folio itself actually looks fantastic, especially considering you can take the keyboard off and keep the folio.
You can talk about that thing now. Just
No.
right
Go for it. Is there anything else that we're forgetting, or is that it?
I think we said 10.9-inch liquid retina, right? And
up from
5G cellular models are available.
Yep.
I think that's kind of the basics of it. I mean,
I think the only thing that you forgot to mention is the previous iPad, the 9th gen, is still there for the same price.
I don't think I forgot. I think I didn't get around to it.
Well, let me interrupt you and just add that in there.
That was actually one of the first things I asked. Was like, is this thing? Did they kill the last version, the previous version? Because that was my fear, right? Like, how could they possibly get rid of that $320 price point? Because that's, I mean, let's be honest, that's still expensive compared to Android tablets. I mean, I think iPads are,
but no one wants an Android
clearly
tablet.
superior.
Yeah,
but when you're looking at something and going, oh, $329 or $99, I mean, $99 versus $449 is a whole lot bigger jump, right? So anyway,
yeah.
So the iPad 9 previous version does still exist. You can still get it, and some people actually probably prefer that because it still has a home button. I mean, I bet you there are a lot of people who just don't want to let go of that home button.
Although once you do, Face ID really is great, and it is a lot faster than Touch ID.
There's no Face ID in this.
Oh, this doesn't have Face ID.
No.
Well, that's right. They moved to Touch ID to the corner.
It's got Touch ID on the button, which I've actually never used that, but I bet you that's kind of awkward.
Yeah, let me back him and say, I just reversed myself there. So yeah, you're right. No Face ID. So
I actually had to check
ID.
on this today. I tried using my fantastic HomePod. I asked it several times, does the iPad Air have Face ID? Because I couldn't remember. And it kept telling me that it could tell me that if I asked my iPhone. And so I would pick up my iPhone and ask it, and then my HomePod would say, I could tell you that if you would ask on the iPhone. It happened several times in a row, and finally my wife got so irritated, she asked Alexa.
and I bet Alexa,
you know what? Alexa answered the question
dude, I
first
know.
time.
And like the Echo is so unbelievable. Like it just answers anything.
I mean, it's one thing when it can't answer something esoteric, but when an Apple device cannot answer a simple question about another Apple device, I mean, that's telling you something. That's telling you something.
We're getting off topic. We could do a whole episode on this. We're getting off topic.
Well, anyway, so there's no Face ID. It's Touch ID.
They just moved it to the corner, which actually I agree with you. I don't know if you were making this point. Is way less convenient just having the button down at the bottom.
Yeah, I bet
now you got to
there
reach
are
your
people,
whole arm up to grab the thing.
I mean, again, I haven't used it, but I don't think it would be as convenient. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so you want to move on to the Magic Keyboard
Did you
Folio?
mention USB-C, Lewis, and Wi-Fi 6?
I mentioned both those things.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Just not paying attention.
So
maybe your ears are clogged up.
What'd you say there? I think I had too much. I think I had too much of Grandmammy's cough syrup. That might be the problem. Okay, so let's talk about this Folio as well because it's quite expensive, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this might be something like if it were me, I would seriously consider getting this because it would actually turn this into I think for a college kid, like a viable laptop replacement.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I got to talk about this, huh? So this thing costs $249. The previous Magic Keyboard costs $299, right?
Yeah.
So $50 cheaper. Okay, great. It's two-piece design, detachable keyboard with full-size keys. Take the keyboard off, use Folio alone as a protective case for your iPad. The keyboard, everybody's excited because the keyboard has a 14-key function, 14, a row of 14 function keys.
Yep.
Adjustable stand allows for different viewing angles, but this is like one of those sort of, like it props it up, right? Have you
Yeah.
ever used a thing like this?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Yeah, I owned one of the previous Apple Folios, and you could like bend it to like position the iPad in different orientations. So I imagine this works in a
But
similar
it
way.
like only works on a table, right? I mean,
What do you mean? It would work on your legs or like
will it?
I mean, I think so.
I don't know. I mean,
But
I haven't used. I've only used like a Logitech one,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
and
So okay.
it's great on a table or a
Yeah.
desk. But
Something that is flat and doesn't move.
yeah,
I see what
but
you're
you
saying. That
can't.
might be true.
So that was the first thing I thought of with this. It's like I don't know. I mean, those other Magic keyboards, the ones that cost $300 and are available for the Pro models,
Yeah.
those things really are magic. Those are like almost like levitation magic, right? They're awesome.
That's what I
Uh,
had too.
those are really great. These things, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't even think it's available in stores yet. Maybe it is.
Uh
Uh,
yeah, you can order it right now. It says
right now,
delivered in
you
a
can pick one up
week.
today. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so I haven't had my hands on one of these. I don't know exactly know how they work, but to me, it looks like that design is going to suffer from that same thing of like it only works if you have a desk and a desk of a certain depth, right? Like you wouldn't be able to use it probably on an airplane because there's not enough room.
It's hard to say. But it is pretty slick and it has the touchpad. And the fact that the keyboard disconnects from it, I mean, that was the thing that I really hated about the iPad Pro Magic Keyboard was that it was heavy. And you're always
Yeah,
lugging
that's
around
true.
this keyboard. And I'm
It is
like,
quite heavy.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't always want the keyboard attached. And the fact that they figured that out and made this version, I think eventually all their keyboard folios will be just like this for the iPad Pro as well, because being able to take the keyboard off is so hugely it is so hugely beneficial. If you don't need it, you don't have to carry around the weight with you. This is way better than their other keyboard folio. And it allows you to use your iPad as an actual iPad, which is what the Pro model keyboard folio doesn't let you do, because now you always have this freaking keyboard hanging off. So like you're reading it, now you're holding a keyboard, and the whole thing doesn't make any sense. Like this makes a lot of sense. If you want the keyboard, it's available, and otherwise you can just take it off and then use your iPad as an actual iPad. So I think this is a really pretty interesting product mix. And I mean the price is a little high, $249 or $449 for the iPad only. We're back to the days where an iPad is $500 with tax.
Yeah, I
And,
mean
and
that's
the other thing is, like, sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
It's just confusing. What's the difference between the iPad Air and the iPad now? I honestly, at this moment, I could not tell you. I need to research this.
Yeah,
But they're very close together. So why do we have both?
right. I've seen a lot of people grousing about this online. Comparing it to the bad old days when there are 57 models of Mac, and how do you tell which one's
bad
which?
old
And well,
days.
this one's yeah. It is. It gets weird, and I don't know. Like I was saying before, I mean the price point of the entry level iPad was always accessible, and I don't know, just really stunned that they went up this high. And like you're saying, $249 for a little case. I mean, I know you can get a folio case for half that. That's adequate at least.
So the iPad Air, it has the M1. So this just makes it even more confusing, I feel like. So it's like, oh, I guess the iPad Pro no longer has the M1. So at least you're not having the overlap there. But it's like if yeah, you see what I
What does
mean?
Air
It's like
even
they're
mean
just
anymore?
so similar. It's 10.9 inches, just like the regular iPad. They even have like a matrix. So they say the iPad Air, serious performance in a thin and light design, and then the iPad, the new one, all new colorful iPad for the things you do every day. So I guess the iPad Air is meant for the pros, but then the iPad
Semi-pros.
Pros, yeah, the semi-pro, and then the iPad Pro is the real pros, the ultimate iPad experience with the most advanced technology.
Yeah,
So
it's weird. It is very weird. I
and
mean, I
then
guess
the iPad Mini is $500,
right.
but it's at the bottom of the line. So this whole thing is super confusing. Yeah.
It is
What
weird.
is the I'm ashamed that I don't know this, but like what what does the iPad Mini have? Does it have the M1? I don't think so. Let's see here. No, it has the A15. Okay, yeah. So an iPad Mini with an A15 is okay. It is less expensive than the M1 iPad Air. Okay, so I guess that does make sense. Sorry, we don't need to figure all this out live here on the air, but you can see how this is confusing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations of iPad that you can currently buy, and they're all across different price ranges. So that's cool.
The one thing I forgot about the Keyboard Folio.
Yeah,
it's available any color that you want, as long as that color's white.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice because white isn't exactly known for staying clean.
How'd you like to have a filthy iPad cover that costs $250?
It's covered in nasty fingerprints.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would have a hard time spending $250 on this, but maybe it's fantastic in some way that has not been revealed yet.
All right, well, let's talk about one of the most interesting parts of the iPad. Now, this is a truly baffling decision that Apple made. I kind of maybe it's not that confusing. They want to make sure they're not competing with their higher end iPads, and so they nerfed this in a very interesting way, didn't they, Lewis?
Oh, that's something that I did completely skip.
Yeah.
In the description of the iPad 10, it now works with the Apple Pencil.
Yep.
Version 1.
But yep, it's only the
version
first
1 only.
Uh-huh.
And so we also mentioned it made the amazing shift from Lightning to USB-C, right? So now you got a pencil that has to charge via Lightning, and you got a tablet that has USB-C. So what do you need? A dongle.
Johnny Ive shed a tear today. A
so,
tear of joy.
As usual after every Apple event, there's something that causes people to go off on a conniption fit. Well, this year or this month, it's the Apple Pencil dongle that they created that lets you plug your Apple Pencil, but requires a Lightning, so you can plug it into the USB-C.
I'm looking for this thing on their website. Do they even have this abomination?
Oh yeah,
here it is. I found it. And they even call it the USB-C to pencil adapter. There it is. $9.
$9.
Shipping in mid-November if you want it.
They're going to start packaging them with the old Apple Pencils. So there's at least that, I suppose. But
are they?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you buy the old Apple Pencil, they'll give you one of these for free?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
That's something.
Yeah.
But if you have an old Apple Pencil, you're going to need this if you want to charge the thing from your tablet.
Yeah,
frankly, shoving a pencil in your tablet was always kind of awkward and weird anyway. It always kind of looked like an accident waiting to happen. So I don't know. Maybe this isn't as big of a deal as everybody's talking about, but there were some pretty funny things on Twitter people had to say about it.
Well, now I think the reason they probably did this is because if it was compatible with the new Apple Pencil, there's no way to charge it because you can't attach the pencil to the new iPad, right? So I think that's why they did that.
Not as built.
Well, not as built. Yeah, they would have to drastically change it. Or what they should have done, which would have cracked me up, is to create some kind of like Apple Pencil 2 charging accessory. It's like a little magnet thing that you just attach to your pencil that makes it work. Like I think that would have been the way to go, rather than having to plug this thing into your iPad via an adapter, which is so wonky and weird and hilarious.
It really is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think that having your pencil charge in your iPad is just kind of weird anyway, like plugging it into the bottom of your... I don't know. It never really seemed like an elegant solution to me, especially if you accidentally break it off, which I can totally see happening.
Yeah.
But
yeah, me too. It definitely has that kind of a feeling.
Well, the good news is if you don't want to get yourself another dongle and have dongle nightmares... There is another solution that we were going to tell you guys about. Let's see here. Where is this? Apple Pencil dongle grief. This is great. I should have showed this. Absurd Apple Pencil dongle sends fans into spiral of grief. And there's two women holding each other's hands, and the caption says, "Not another dongle. Not another one." I know it took us years to escape dongle hell, and now we're headed back. It is a little bit of PTSD, isn't it?
There's everything, man. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. I loved it. I don't know if you saw at the very end, but if you happen to make it to the very end of that, it's just a roundup of people's funny and outraged responses on Twitter, right? If you get to the very end, you can see from Ian's elbow, he presents a solution for those afraid of losing their USB-C pencil adapter.
What was that? Do I have to find this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a key ring just for it.
There you
The
go.
only thing he left out was it should have an air tag.
Ian's elbow. Let me see if I can find him here.
Just look in the post.
Oh, it's in the post?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Why'd you say that?
Scroll to the bottom. I said scroll to the bottom of the
Did
post.
you actually say it? Oh wait, that's not the right person. Leaks Apple Pro. Oh, there's so many. There's so many tweets in here. You know what's been funny is watching all the people
It's a tweet jam.
pile on the iPad. This is terrible. The worst thing I've ever seen from Apple train, you know? Once
Right.
they realized this would get the clicks on YouTube, that's been the angle.
It's the worst thing since charging your Apple Pencil in your iPad.
Let's see here. Oh, he just wrote this out. Okay. Cool.
You still haven't found it?
No, I found it. Whoa, 1,600 likes. Almost 1,700. That's a hot take right there. Yeah. Well, there's another alternative, Lewis.
You never found it, huh?
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Okay,
On the screen
sorry.
as we speak.
I'm not looking at that there.
Logitech Crayon. If you
There
got
you go.
kids and you want a USB-C pencil that you can use on your iPad, I don't know why you wouldn't just buy this instead. So the latest version of the Logitech Crayon iPad stylus charges via USB, just like the iPad 10. That makes it simple. That makes it a simple option rather than Apple Pencils, the first Apple Pencil that still uses Lightning. By the way, we got James Chang in the chat. He says the adapter is not free. They increased the price of the Apple Pencil 1.
Oh, really?
Apparently, according to him.
You're
we need
kidding
to verify
me.
that, but so, I mean, is it surprising? They're gonna give new life to the Apple Pencil, right? Let's bump the cost. I mean, honestly, that kind of is the story across the board here, except for the iPad they released, like the iPad Pro, spec bump, make it fresh for the holidays, and that's the same thing they did with the Apple TV, which we'll actually talk about here in a sec, because I actually think that the Apple TV is one of the most exciting things that happened yesterday, and I'll tell you why here in just a sec. Before I do, though, I think that that wraps up all of the iPad chat.
He was joking. It's $99.
Oh, is it still the same price?
Yeah, and they've even updated it so it already says it comes with the USB-C to Apple Pencil adapter.
Okay, there you go. So he's a dirty, rotten scoundrel and a liar. Feel free to dogpile him. James Chang, I'll never forgive you for that. Let's see here. Yeah, so before we move on, should we talk about the giveaway here, Lewis?
All right, the giveaway.
You
Almost missed it.
Let's talk about the giveaway, Lewis.
Yeah, we got a new one this week. It's a rugged Apple Watch accessory bundle. If you want a tactical-looking Apple Watch band that doesn't skimp on comfort, the Mifa nylon sports leather band is what you're looking for. At this week's giveaway, you can get one of those, along with an Elkson Quattro bumper case that's going to protect your Apple Watch from whatever kind of, adventure you go out onto.
Oh yeah, I like to adventure.
This Mifa band in particular, if you look at it, it's part nylon, part leather, all comfort, and it's been a consistent bestseller at Cultimax store. I think people are going for the everyday carry look, the tactical look.
It kind of looks like a watch from the Aliens movie when you put that strap on there. It looks like something from the Nostromo. Totally. Look at that one. Building greater worlds.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the bundle. You get one of those and a bumper case that fits. There's a couple different bumper cases that fit different watch sizes. You can find all these things, in the Cultimax store as per usual. Like I said, this band has been a consistent bestseller. The bundle itself comes up to $36.99. Not a super pricey gift this time because, to be honest, these watches these bands are quite affordable. Anyway, we're giving away 4 this week. Go to cultimac.com, scroll down to the giveaway area.
Whoops.
enter and get your name in the hat. You got a chance at winning the MIFA band and the Elkson bumper case for your Apple Watch.
You know what we should do, Lewis, is a giveaway where if they win, we show up at their house and do the Cultcast live from their bedroom.
That's probably going to be counterproductive.
You know, see, that'd be pretty cool. And it's whether you want us to or not. So if we pick the winner at random, and if we win, we're coming into your house.
Just try and stop us.
And we're gonna broadcast the whole thing live.
You're in a stand your ground state. Okay, never mind.
I'll wear Kevlar if I have to, Lewis. I'm coming in. I'm coming in that house. I'm doing the show. We do the show, Lewis. That's what we do. All right, so there you go. Enter to win. You might as well give it a shot. You can win one of these cool Nostromo aliens looking straps. I really like that black one with the yellow. And dress up your Apple Watch in a new way, which is always fun to accessorize.
I love having different Apple Watch
Me
bands.
too.
I can't have enough.
I do too. I love it, man. I can't wait to get my Ultra. I was just telling Lewis before we started. I don't have it yet, but man, I can't wait to get my hands on that thing. I'm still excited. I don't have it yet.
I'm still on the fence.
Really? Once I get mine, I'm going to try and convince you to get yours as well.
I wanted to point this out. MIFA makes a NASA version of that band. Did you see that?
I did see that, yeah.
I thought maybe, you being a big space freak.
I do. I mean, I like NASA, but I just feel like the whole NASA thing is so played out now. It's like everyone's wearing NASA everything. So
I'm not.
I still like NASA, but like when something just says NASA, I'm like, Target sells NASA shirts now. It's got to be unique in some way. That actually looks cool. They have the whole thing spelled out, so that's a little.
I think every one of these is, been into space. So I mean, there's that.
All the straps, they send them up into space before they sell them.
I might be misinformed.
I don't. That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right. I think they might be more expensive than they are. If that were true. Okay.
Comes with a moon rock. No, it doesn't.
That would be cool. All right. Let's talk about the Apple TV 4K. Last story of the day here. Well, I guess second to last. Penultimate.
I love to hear that word used properly.
Yeah, thank you, because I sometimes have been known to not use it properly, so I think that time I nailed it. So let's talk about the Apple TV. This is a really interesting play by Apple, I have to say. They made the Apple TV a lot less expensive, and they increased the storage capacity, and they made it faster. Now, that is interesting, isn't it? Apple doesn't usually include more storage space, make something faster, and reduce the price by 30%. So I think the reason that they're doing this, well, obviously they want people to buy more Apple TVs. But I also think that, and we've heard this story before, I think that Apple is going to be bringing ads to Apple TV and Apple TV Plus, and I think that's their play. So you buy one of these things, and you don't know it yet, but this unit is being subsidized by ads, or will be eventually, because Apple is eventually going to start showing you ads. I think. That's not confirmed. But I know that Apple's looking into it. I think Gurman talked a little bit about this. But in the meantime, even regardless, if you don't have an Apple TV, this is the best time ever to buy one. So they added the A15, same chip in the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14, coincidentally. The new model retains the same design as the older model, which was updated released in 2020. But it's 10% thinner, 50% lighter, thanks to a fanless design. Does anyone care about that? Actually, I think that the lightness is actually a negative, because if a unit is too light, the wires, if you get a stiff wire, it will move the unit around. So I kind of like having a weighty something to plop down on my media console so it doesn't get all moved around and stuff. And
That's actually
the current
true.
one is kind of light already. So that actually might end up being a negative. But with the A15 Bionic, they're saying it's 50% faster, and from a CPU perspective, and 30% faster GPU. And with the new chip, this model can play back HDR10 plus videos. So it can still do Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Digital, 5.1, 5.7, but they're adding HDR10 plus, which is, I don't know how much content out there is HDR, but I'll take all the HDRs. Like anything that you'll support is good, right? Because most stuff has Dolby Vision, but there's a lot of content out there that is Dolby or HDR10. So I think the more support, the better. Now, again, I want to reiterate this new model, the entry level model is 64 gigabytes. So the previous entry level model was 32 and it cost $150. Well, this new entry level model is 100 and actually no, it wasn't 149. I think it was 169 if I remember correctly. Or maybe even 179 for the base model. I don't remember. I'm all turned around now. Can you look that up? Pull that up while I'm doing this?
I think it was. Yeah, I don't know if I can.
That's hard to say now.
How can you find it if you're not?
Yeah, exactly. Because they probably dropped the price on it. But the new entry level model is 129 in the U.S. with 64 gigabytes of storage, and the 128 gigabyte model is available for $149. And according to our story, that means that it's $50 cheaper than the previous gen variant. So there you go.
And they're still far more expensive than competitors.
I know, but they're also just so much. I mean, it's such a polished experience, and you get more than just streaming content. Like with your Apple TV, if you have your photos in the cloud or you use any shared photo albums, then you get all of that stuff easily on your Apple TV. So you get to see all of your albums and stuff. And I've made my screensaver pictures of my family. So like anytime we go on a new trip, like I make the photos from that trip my screensaver, so my family gets to see those all the time. And that's definitely worth something to me. Although the one gripe I have with Apple TV, and I didn't know this until last week when I discovered this, and I couldn't believe it, is you have an iPhone, right? And you're taking all of these beautiful videos of your life and your family. When you stream videos or when you watch those videos on your Apple TV 4K, it doesn't play them back in 4K. It only plays them back in either 720 or 1080, which is mind-boggling to me. And the only way to stream 4K content that you've recorded on your Apple TV 4K is to have that file locally on your phone and then AirPlay it, or your iPad or your Mac, and then AirPlay it to your Apple TV 4K. That's the only way you can play back your 4K content. Is that not mind-blowing? Did you guys know that? Because I did not. One of the main reasons I bought the freaking Apple TV 4K, and I paid way more than they're charging for it now, is because I wanted to watch my 4K videos of my kids and my family. And I always thought there was something off about them. Like, it didn't look great. And then finally I started doing some research about why my videos didn't look great. And I dug into the information on the videos, and it said HD. And I was like, why are these playing back in HD? I thought it was a setting that I didn't have turned on or something. Nope. Your 4K Apple TV doesn't play 4K content that you've recorded, which to me is wild. And I think the reason Apple probably does this, I would guess, this is just a complete guess, is because they don't want to pay the storage transfer fees. Like whenever you watch a 4K video, Apple has to pay for moving that content from the servers to your house, and it's cheaper for them to do HD. That's the only reason I can think of why they would not stream your own content in 4K. Were you going to say something, Lewis?
No, that's
it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. So I still think that the 4K Apple TV is worth it, but that's a huge omission that I think they need to fix. Yeah.
Wow. So did we discuss the other differences between those two versions? The one comes with something I can't believe you're not raving about.
Oh, yeah.
Gigabit Ethernet.
Well, that's just gigabit. It's 1G.
It doesn't matter to you?
I mean, no, it does. It does. I'm actually not happy they made this move because they're basically forcing you into the more expensive model, which, typical Apple, because I don't think the reliability of the Apple TV, I don't think the Apple TV 4K really works that well on just Wi-Fi, and it bogs down your network. So I would much rather have it plugged into Ethernet, and I think it really sucks that they removed Ethernet from the base version.
And the other thing that it comes with is Thread networking support.
Right. So if you want to use this thing as like your home hub.
Yeah. So it's definitely gonna be worth the extra $30, I think, over time. Is it $30?
Yeah, it is. Which it's
oh no, $20. It's $20 more.
Is it only 20? Okay.
Yeah. you gotta put down an extra $20.
You got to plurk
You
down
get
the extra
double the
money.
storage.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, the 129, like that one should almost be like $69, right? I mean, they should make it actually competitive with Roku. 99, I don't know, whatever.
69, dudes!
You did it.
I fell for it. Stepped right in it.
I had to do it, man. You walked right into it. Yeah.
But I mean,
agree.
honestly, like if you're gonna buy an Apple TV 4K, definitely get the one with Ethernet, because the Ethernet is useful, the storage is great, and the thread part, if you got any interest at all in using this as a home automation hub, it's the future.
It is the future. That much is true. Let's see here. Norbert's saying the remote is also USB 4, but you don't get a cable. Shocker. Okay, so I'm gonna guess you mean USB-C. That's the
No,
charging
instead
part?
of they upgraded that from Lightning. Okay,
That's
everything's
interesting.
Lightning's
going
definitely on the way out, man.
Yeah, everything's going USB-C. I meant that's interesting. And then Streamline says, "I never hardwired an Apple TV or know anyone who does except John Siracusa." Well, he and I are at a different tier of performance.
I'm plugged in.
Oh, Lewis is plugged in. There you go.
Hardwired.
Let's see. Salvador says maybe they can add a dongle later to add Ethernet. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, the USB-C Apple TV dongle, only $9.99. Where did you get your MagSafe phone stand from, Airphone? Oh, shoot. You guys want to see this? I can't believe that you're bringing that up in the middle of this show, because I haven't talked about it in forever. But, dude, it's definitely one of my favorite things I've bought in a long time. So, let's see here. Who was that? That's CJ. All right, CJ. He wants me to talk really quickly before we wrap up. So, about this MagSafe iPhone stand that I have. So, I bought this thing on Amazon. You can find them all over the place. I don't even know what the brand name is, nor would I pitch you the brand, because I guarantee you they're just buying these on Alibaba and then shipping them to Amazon and selling them for a profit. So this thing's pretty interesting. It's like an aluminum iPhone stand. For those of you listening, it has like a little circle base, and then it has a little pole that goes up, and it connects to like a little pad at the very top of like this little stick, and it attaches the back of your phone via MagSafe. And so if you want to have your phone on a stand, and you can move it all around, it actually works really well. Like it pivots on this little stand, right? And the pivot is actually quite strong. It will hold your iPad in virtually any orientation. And I have found this to be super useful for just having my phone on a stand when I'm at my desk, so I can, interact with it and watch videos if I want to, with my phone facing me instead of being flat on my desk. I think it was like $13 or $14. So there you go. It's just on Amazon. I would give you a link if I could remember where I even or what the vendor was or what the product was even called. I honestly don't know. I think I just put in MagSafe iPhone stand, and like 1,000 of them popped up. James Chang says, I recommend the Balkan one. Yeah, I don't. The problem is, James, I don't believe a word that you have to say anymore. You've dishonored yourself and your family, and you're lucky that
Jeez.
Captain Dr. Zach Hicks is in here, because I would have had him insert the fullness of his size 12 boot right into your keister. All right, Lewis, should we go ahead and
You didn't finish up.
I didn't. What else do I have? Oh, yeah.
Big day next week.
Thanks. Okay. Last story, real quick. Do it in 30 seconds or less. macOS Ventura and iPadOS 16 and iOS 16.1 are all launching on October 24th. So if you're wondering where those are coming out, that's the magic day. When is that? That is on Monday.
Monday.
That is on Monday. So there you go. Let's see. Any important details from this? Stage Manager will be coming to iPadOS. That's right. A reference mode will be coming on to the 12.9-inch iPad, which will allow you to use your iPad as a reference monitor. Let's see here. iPadOS 16 will launch. Yeah. We already said all that stuff. Right. Live text for video, messages and mail app improvements for Mac. And there you go. On Monday, all the updates come out, which is great because we've all been waiting to have all the updates. So let's go ahead, start the music, and wrap it up there. My friends, that's all the cool casts we have for you guys this week. But the party continues. The party it just keeps happening on Twitter. I'm at Airfon, ERFON. Lewis is at Lewis Wallace. This has been the Cultcast, the best 30-plus minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the Cultcast come out every Thursday night, although we might do it Tuesday next week. We might do it Tuesday next week to accommodate schedules because Lewis is going back to Italy again. Nothing to say for yourself, Lewis? I said no more. I said no more vacations. He didn't listen. This has been the Cultcast, the best 30-plus minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the Cultcast coming every Thursday night. I want to thank everyone for listening and for hanging out live, and we will see you guys next time. Oh, Streamlined wants the Cultcast in spatial audio. We're going to go ahead and need to...
Smell-o-vision, maybe.
I don't know if I want smell-o-vision. I'm not sure. By the looks of that room, I don't know if I want smell-o-vision. I think I'd rather invest the $10,000 per person to have like the 360 cameras installed everywhere. I'd maybe just do that. I definitely don't want smell-o-vision at LK's place. I get a contact high. Wouldn't be safe to drive or operate heavy machinery after that. I definitely don't want sniff spatial. Let's get a pass on that. All right, everyone. I'm hovering towards the end stream button as we speak. Thanks for hanging out. Bid Lewis a fond farewell. If you're in Italy, maybe you'll see him there. Just remember, no eye contact. Bye, y'all.